Following Senator Bernie Sanders' heart attack, there are several questions about how his campaign handled it. Did he misspeak about his future campaign schedule? And how is the media responding?
We are back with Stephen Cobb, former Obama administration appointee, and Philip Wegman, national political reporter. Gentlemen, how goes it? It's been a long time since we last spoke. Originally, when Sanders came out and talked to the media, he said he would be changing the nature of his campaign. Of course, he is noted for having a very aggressive schedule, doing 4 or 5 rallies a day, as much as or more than any other candidate in the field. So him changing the nature of his campaign and scaling back would be like to act like a normal candidate. Media, of course, went crazy and seized on this, et cetera. So now he has come out and clarified. Do you have the quote? Where is it?
That's right. He said, I think we have some sound of this.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, let's take.
He says he misspoke about scaling back his presidential rallies after his heart attack and asserts that his campaign also acted appropriately before disclosing that he had a heart attack. So anyway, he was not impressed with the way that the media covered this particular incident, and also they're seizing on his saying that he was going to change the nature of the campaign.
Well, what's new with Bernie Sanders being upset with the press? I mean, this is the sort of thing he does constantly.
I like it, actually. I really like it.
Undercut him.
Well, look, we've heard a lot of questions about the current president's health. In fact, we had a press conference, at the White House for more than an hour when we went back and forth with the U.S. Surgeon General on whether or not the president was healthy or not. We have
his personal doctor.
His personal doctor, excuse me. We have candidates who are getting older, and this is a question, like, are they going to be able to be all there for the next 4 or potentially 8 years? It was interesting to see the Bernie Sanders campaign not exactly come out and be completely forthright. They said that he had stints. They didn't say that he had a heart attack in their press release.
All right, he responded to this as well. Let's take a listen to what Senator Sanders has to say.
It felt from a public perspective that there was an absence of transparency.
No, I don't accept that. No, I think that's a media thing. I think that, to try to understand what in fact is going on, I think we did it appropriately. We did it as quickly as we could. No apologies.
We also had his national campaign co-chair, Nina Turner, on this show, and she responded in her typical colorful way. Let's listen to that.
When you have a crisis in your life, your first damn thought is not to notify the media.
Right.
The first thought is to find out what is going on with the doctors and then have family. So anybody, whether they're Democrat or Republican, who would level, this kind of insensitive comment is just wrong.
All right, defend yourself, Phil.
I guess
what do you have to say?
Wow, you start asking
blasted.
Dropped it on you.
You start asking questions and you're in trouble. What's very interesting is that candidates not only have to defend their ideas, also we know that this is one of the most strenuous jobs, for crying out loud. You're the most powerful human being on earth. You're the leader of the free world. And I think that actually the fact that Bernie Sanders is, his still feisty self, I think that's going to play very well for him going into Ohio. But if the media was not asking these questions, I think that would be a disservice to voters.
I think that's fair, but I thought it was ridiculous how they were like, I can't believe you made me wait 2 days before I knew, 3 days before I knew every detail of your health status. They put it out. Nobody was hiding anything. They put out an official statement from the doctor. I mean, come on. No one else gets held to this standard.
I'm rarely a Senator Sanders defender.
Right.
But I think he can be given some leeway here. He had a major health issue. He acknowledged that he had a health issue. And yes, they're trying to figure out what the campaign looks like going forward. It's not 100% surprising that the first statement is a little different than how things are actually playing out. And I think he deserves a little bit of leeway for that.
My thing is, as long as we actually get the information, I don't care, right? So 3 days, did it really make a difference in the national political discussion? No, it really didn't.
I think they wanted him to live stream his hospital.
What is the press upset about? They're getting spun? That's called public relations.
Right.
You don't come out and say that it's the worst possible event because you don't want it to look that way. Who cares?
Well,
it's your job to cut through that.
There's precedent here in that, there are presidential candidates who have bad hearts who are still competitive. Pat Buchanan literally drops out in 92, and Secret Service takes him to the hospital so that he can have open heart surgery. Medicine has advanced a lot since then. I don't think that this is going to cause...
Dick Cheney.
Exactly.
3 heart attacks.
He had major heart issues, and that wasn't a problem for him.
So I'm really not sure where the follow-up is. I mean, obviously the press question would be, are you going to be able to continue with the campaign? If the answer is yes, great.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting about the entitlement, and maybe, Phil, you could speak to this, about the entitlement to have that information as soon as possible.
Right.
That is what I really question. So I remember it's weird that my mind goes to this, but it was the Mueller whole thing. Remember, like, Attorney General Barr releases the principal conclusions,
Right.
and then it comes out, like, the whole report, and they're like, oh, well, why didn't they release the whole report? And it's like, you got the whole, like, you got everything.
Right.
Like, they're just mad that, again, they're mad at public relations. And so, like, you're not entitled to all of that information. Now, look, as a reporter, you should always be trying to get that information, but it's the entitlement which just
Mueller and the Democrats got completely played on that whole thing.
And
That's not an apples to apples comparison.
But more what I'm saying is like people try to manage the message, and I don't understand why people should be upset about that.
Right.
That's what I don't get.
As a reporter, you're supposed to be aggressive. You should never feel entitled. I think this is one of the problems with a
Right.
press
It's a good
corps
distinction.
that sees themselves as firefighters. No, you're not. Your job is to ask simple questions right away,
Right.
get as the most accurate version of the truth as you can. And if someone's not going to give it to you, well, all right, then give it to you and make a note that they didn't return comment by press time.
Right, exactly. That's all you really need to do.
Yeah.
What do you think, Stephen?
In the pantheon of issues that these candidates are talking about to lead our country into 2020 and beyond, this should be a pretty low mark. In fact, we're talking about it for several days about what someone disclosed about their own personal health beyond are you cleared to continue with your campaign?
Right.
I'd rather have the conversation back on healthcare. I'd rather have it back on the economy, back on national security, on the issues that really matter. Senator Sanders has says that he's fine and ready to keep going with his campaign. No reason not to take him at his word. Let's get back to the issues.
Yeah, so for you personally, that 72 hours that you had to wait was not a make or break job.
No,
not excruciating.
It's insane. We're glad he's feeling better.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Tomorrow on Rising, the Hill's editor-in-chief, Bob Cusack, he debriefs us all on the latest Washington news.
And friend of the show, Ryan Grimm of The Intercept, discusses his most recent reporting on the Biden family scandals. As always, like, share, and subscribe to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure to send in your Rising questions. We'll be working on those tomorrow and post them up on Sunday. Use the hashtag RisingQs. Most importantly, though, make sure you subscribe. And by the way, let me give you a little bit of a tease. Next week, for the debate, we're doing our own live coverage here. So you definitely want to subscribe so you don't miss any bit of that.
You can't miss any of it.
Yeah.
You need it.
That's the reality. That's the bottom line here. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See you later.